What is up, everybody, and welcome to Robeytech, a very, very special edition of this show where we have the Battle of the Folds. Right here in front of me, we've got the Galaxy Z Flip and the Galaxy S Fold. We're going to unbox this little one right here, and then from there, we're going to basically compare it against this phone. Now let's talk first about specs wise. Now the Galaxy Fold is basically, it's got an AMOLED capacitive touchscreen, 16 million colors. It's about 7.3 inches by 162.6 centimeters it says. I don't know what that is in inches. I can't do that computation live in my head. It's got triple cameras on it. If you look here at the back, we got here on the back, we've got a 12 megapixel wide. We've got a 12 megapixel telephoto, and then we've got a 16 megapixel ultra wide. It's got LED flash, it's HDR, it's got panorama. The selfie camera, and let's open this bad boy up for the first time, not for the first time since you've done it. And I'll be honest, these things are dust magnets. We got our dust camera here on there, but there's also a selfie camera right here in the front that's sitting at 10 megapixel, and then it's also got an 8 megapixel wide. So both of those are pretty good in terms of that stuff. This actually does support 5G, which is pretty crazy. It's got a fingerprint sensor on the side, which you can use to unlock the phone. The battery is obviously non-removable. It's 4,235 milliamp, which, I mean, given the size of this phone overall, is no surprise. Now this one actually, the thing that's crazy about this when I unboxed this one when it came out in September, is it included the Galaxy earbuds. It actually includes this case right here. And remember, the other thing that's crazy about this is that we actually have two screens. We have the big foldable screen on the inside, and then you've actually got a screen here on the outside that you can also use as well. So both of these are functional. You can use both of them in terms of that stuff. And then again, just to kind of give you some ideas as we open up from this, like you have something here, you can just open it up, and then it just takes right over on the phone. So very, very cool in terms of this phone. Powerful, all that kind of jazz. Retail right now is just a little over $2,000. Now here, on this one right here, we've got the Galaxy Z Flip. Again, also having an AMOLED display. It's about 6.7 inches by 101.6 centimeters. The resolution on this is 1080 by 2636 versus the resolution on this is actually, looking it up right now, is 1536 by 2152. So this has about a 362 ppi density versus this one has a 425 ppi density. This one has HDR, but this supports HDR10+. And then the front is actually a super AMOLED display. We'll show this at 112 by 300 megapixel, while the front of this one is actually a 720 by 1680, so 21.9 aspect ratio, which you take some getting used to. In terms of the camera, this has two cameras on the front versus three cameras on this one. This has a 12 megapixel, 27 millimeter wide, and a 12 megapixel, 12 millimeter ultra wide. For your selfie cam, you've got a 10 megapixel, 26 millimeter wide with no second selfie camera on here. This supports basically, I think this also supports 5G. I need confirmation on this. Remember, the big thing for this is that both of these actually come in a black and purple variant. This also comes in a black and purple, but also has what's called the Tom Brown edition. If you're big into the fancy look of some high New York fashion, which we here at Robeytech are not. We like to wear t-shirts and fancy jackets. So if they come up with the fancy jacket edition, we might get into that. Anyway, those are the specs side by side. Again, both of these are foldable. Wanted to show this off, but we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing. So we're going to go and put this off to the side like that. And let's go ahead and get to opening this. So let's grab our handy dandy knife here and get this going. There we go. Haven't opened this before. There we go, right there. And boom. So first and foremost, we got the Z and the look at that Z Flip. Or flips. How many words can you make with two boxes, Brian? Here we go. So we'll put that off to the side. Unboxing this right here. Let's take a look on the inside. Okay, so fancy little Samsung. It looks like you got a manual inside there, and then here looks like there is the future changes shape. Meet your Galaxy Z Flip. hello, how are you? The Revolution of Galaxy Z, you don't need to read that. That's not all that interesting, but we'll put that back inside the box. Now, here is the phone. Now, I've heard some crazy things about this. I was playing with this. So, a couple of the warnings. Do not press the screen or the front camera lens with a hard or sharp object, such as a pen or your fingernail. Doing so could result in scratching or puncturing them. So that makes sense. So do not take your knife and do this. That is your first warning. Second one is when folding the device, do not place any objects such as credit cards, coins, or keys on the screen. So don't use this to basically as like a money wallet or a credit card machine. The device is not water or dust resistant, so do not expose to liquid or maybe go into a dust storm with. Like, don't use this to shield your eyes while in a dust storm. Not a good idea. Or like when it's raining, don't. This is not like a good thing to basically cover there. The interesting thing is, do not attach adhesives or films or stickers on the main screen. Makes sense. But this is the crazy one. This device contains magnets. Keep a safe distance between your device and objects that may be affected by magnets, such as credit cards and implantable medical devices. It says, if you have an implanted medical device, consult your physician before use. So there you go. If you want to get a good shot of those, if you want to take a good shot of those warnings, pretty crazy warnings. Now, just so you know, very similar warnings on the Galaxy S Fold. When I went into AT&T to pick this up, I was talking to the awesome person I work with every time over there at AT&T, and she had told me that there was similar warnings. So when we were talking about the Flip, okay, let's go ahead and well, before we do that, let's take a look at what else we got in here. So we've got our SIM card. That's great. Don't care about that. Here we've got of course our battery. Our charger. Let's see what else we got. This is our cable. And then we've also got, looks like more, these are probably more cables. I don't know what these are. Oh, headphones. So unlike the Fold, where you got the nice wireless earbuds, this one you just got some wired USB-C headphones. Again, no headphone jack on either of these. And then lastly, looks like you've got your little USB 3 to USB-C converter there. So that is all of the stuff that's inside of the packaging. I'm assuming AKG is some sort of quality audio brand. Not sure, haven't heard of them. But yeah, you get some AKG headphones. Now, I did forget to tell you, this retail is what, $1,400 versus $2,000, I think is the cost difference between these two. Yeah, so $19,499 versus I think this one is just at $1,500 for the two phones. So there's a $500 difference. I don't know if that means that we should get a camera. Some nice earbuds. Okay, let's get a peel off on this baby. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Ooh, there it is. This is the Galaxy Z Flip. We can show these side by side here. Again, if you look at it, we'll turn the screen off on this. If you look at the thing, you can, if you look, I don't know if you can show this very well, Brian, but you can see it's hard to see the fold in the middle. On the Galaxy S Fold, you can definitely see it a little bit more clearly. So yeah, if you get the light, you can definitely see the fold here. If it hits the light just right, you can actually see the fold. With the screens on, that thing, if the light is right, again, you can still see them, but when you're holding them straight up, I do not see the fold. I've used this phone quite a bit. Big fan of this phone. Let's go ahead and turn this one on and take a look at this here. So, let's hope it turns, there it goes. So again, with the fold on, it's really hard to basically see the fold on this. Again, both of these AM OLED displays that look really, really good. Now while we're waiting for that to boot up, take a look at this. Let's look at the hinge there. Can you zoom in on that hinge? Nice quality hinge. Way it kind of goes as we bend, as you can see, like it kind of folds in. They added some additional dust protecting here that goes in there, and then it just goes. Nice quality in terms of how the fold feels, and it feels super solid when you go in there. On this one, there are apparently, zoom in on this, but there are actually some little brushes on the inside here. Very similar fold to the Galaxy S Fold, and then not as big of a click on this one as there is on this one. The fold itself actually feels pretty solid. But the one thing I'll tell you about the Galaxy S Fold is like that's got that nice solid click and that nice solid pop. This one not kind of the same way. Doesn't feel chinsy, but it definitely doesn't have like near the pop that the other one does. But then when we talk about the two screens, this is that little small screen they talked about. This can also show you and be used as a camera. And of course, you've got your full-size screen on the inside here. So we're back now. Now we've got a little setup. You can see the screens and stuff like that. It's talking to me already. Again, screen looking super pretty. One of the things I really like about this is the opening. First and foremost, you can see this thing is definitely a fingerprint magnet. I've just barely opened this and you're already seeing a bunch of crazy there. This is touch. You can touch and use this. So there are options. There's like settings and stuff like that. I am going to figure out how to show you the camera here in a minute, but here we go right here, and then of course we have right here, we can set this up, and very, very pretty in terms of the unboxing right there. So inside looks very, very good. Both of these phones both have, so the Galaxy S Fold, again, I did find out this does support 5G, while the Galaxy C Flip does not. This one only supports up to LTE. In terms of processors, these actually share the exact same processor with the Snapdragon SM8150. Both of these use the 8150. Again, much bigger battery in this one than in this one. Crazy thing is these also use pretty insane software to kind of make things happen. For instance, I showed you really early on when I turned on this phone and I turned on the Galaxy S Fold and I had an app open. Like for instance, let's open and go to let's say for instance I was going to check PC Part Picker. So we'll go to PC Part Picker here, like that. So you got PC Part Picker open. There it is. I can look at my build guides. I'm like, oh no, I want to make sure I can see more of that. If I just open it up, again, I'm inside a PC Part Picker, and you get a much better, cleaner view. To kind of give you some of those similar things here for the Fold, the one that makes the most sense. There we go. So again, when I was talking about this, some of the special software, when you look at the camera here, we're on photo mode. Now, when I fold this in half, see how the actual phone, the camera actually changes to do both screens. And some of the things that you have bonuses for with this sort of thing is like being able to set up a picture, so I could do here, and like you can see there, but like if I wanted to set up a selfie, and then again, this actually has hand waving, so you can be like, take a picture, which is actually pretty cool in terms of some of the stuff. So there's a lot of special software that exists in this phone to make things like that happen. And they added a bunch of things so you can automatically do stuff. And like, for instance, the selfie wave that lets you actually take pictures. And we'll show you some of the versions. We'll show you some quality. I'll send you here in a minute. We'll show you some of the pictures and stuff like that, so you can see what that kind of looks like. But at a glance, I think I wanted to kind of show you that. But like at a glance, I think the only other thing that's worth showing you is here on the front. This can also be a camera. We don't know how to actually make it happen. So give me 1 second. Okay, so what we figured out. Took me a little time while I was digging for this information, but when we talked about that front screen, if you actually double click the power button, which is important, you can actually activate the front selfie camera. There is actually a front camera here that you can see. You're actually looking at Brian taking a picture of himself, and then again, you can take pictures of that. Again, we'll give you some examples of what that looks like. Oh, he waved and actually activated. So again, he waved, then he takes the time, and then you can actually see a little timer on there as it takes a picture. We'll show you some of those from that. The other thing that we learned while we were looking for that at the same time is we also learned that this actually does indeed also come with a case. We were digging for the instructions. We found out this does come with a case. Again, you saw what a fingerprint kind of mess this is, so you can actually use this very similar to the one that comes with the Galaxy S Fold. Not as carbon fibery, but again, not much of an improvement comparatively to the Galaxy S Fold, because again, now you have a case on it. But this one, which is like this carbon fiber on the Galaxy S Fold, this one is very, very sticky. So that's just kind of it at a glance. We'll do a little bit more of an in-depth review, but we wanted to at least show you, because there's now two kind of premier foldable phone. We also have the Razr that we could talk about, but two in the Samsung world now, between the Galaxy S Fold and then the Galaxy C Flip. Again, 5G, $2,000, LTE, about $1,400, much more than that on eBay right now. This came out September 2019. This came out just on February 14th, so happy Valentine's Day. And then again, Snapdragon, same processor, bigger battery, smaller battery, a much larger screen versus a kind of a foldable screen. I'm going to play with this one for a while, so I'll give you a more in-depth review in terms of what I think of it, but I wanted to unbox it, give you guys some thoughts. Now, what do you guys think of foldable phones? Let me know all of that stuff in the comments below. I want to know. Do any of you use it? Let me know that as well. So anyway, guys, hopefully you whip that like button, slap that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you know that when we go live each and every time. Also, make sure you check out our live show where we stream tech and PC builds over on mixer.com/Robeytech from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Over on Wednesdays. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at Robeytech, and then you can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Robeytech. Anyway, guys, totally excited about this. Gonna go play with this phone. We're gonna show some B-roll footage now, also show you some of the cameras, and you guys can get some differences here. I hope you enjoyed this. Let us know if you want to see more of this content, and we will see you guys next time. #BeefyCores.